I'll just accept the round of applause right now. I can hear you guys chanting, screaming, clapping through the camera right now. We are on the Supra today. After weeks and weeks and weeks of you guys hounding us nonstop saying work on the Toyota Supra, here we are working on the Toyota Supra. Where we are picking up today is pretty much where we all left off last time. Now I know that was quite a bit ago, so I'm gonna do my best to kind of wrap everything up so you can kind of get up to speed. We finished up the fuel setting unit and the fuel pumps and the fuel filter. We still haven't gotten lines made, but we were gonna do that once we got the fuel pressure regulator installed up front, which we're working towards a little bit today. All of our pieces have come in, so all of our sensors, ECU, for the most part, all the miscellaneous stuff is installed. We're gonna be using a Rye wire harness on this car. Huge shout out to Ryan. This is the nicest quality harness I have ever seen. I'm super stoked to be using it today. We're gonna be using Thorn Industry coil packs. On my JZ, on my 350, I used LS coil packs to power the JZ. And I love that because it was cheap, it could handle a lot of power, and they were easy to replace if you ever needed to do that. And I got those from Thorn Industries. Unfortunately, I don't have my car here, so I can't show you that off the bat, but I was gonna do the same exact setup for this car just because, like I said, it was cheap, it was able to handle tons of power, and it was just super easy, and it fit under the OEM cover. But actually, after talking with them for a bit, they were like, we're gonna hook you up with the VR38s, which to my understanding, I believe is the GTR coils that you can actually use in this car, and it fits perfectly. So this is kind of a little highlight that I wanted to show. So these can handle more power than the LS coils. They still fit, and they are absolutely beautiful. These actually can handle up to about 2,000 horsepower. Not that we're gonna be getting that high, but it is still pretty cool to see. So we got carbon fiber covers, spacers, and some beauty hardware to top it all off. So I don't have spark plugs in at the moment, but we're gonna throw those in today, throw these puppies on, and plug these in. It's gonna look super, super sweet. So huge shout out to Thorn Industries. Like I said, I have it on my Z, and I have it on the Supra. If you guys are looking for anything coil related, definitely check them out. I'll link them down below.
The game plan is we're tackling everything that has to do on the cold side. Intake manifold, the wiring, sensors. At the moment, we're looking for an oil pressure sensor, which is right here in this corner. So we're replacing it with a new sensor. We have to take out the stock one. And in order to do that, we had to undo our belt, remove this power steering pump, and now we have to remove the AC pump. And once we do that, we go full speed ahead into putting the intake manifold back, moving these wires where they need to be, and then that's the cold side.
I know it's really hard to see, but right down there, you'll see a little hole. We had to remove the AC pump, we had to remove the power steering pump, and you had to use a deep socket 27 to take this thing off. Pretty ridiculous, but now that that's off, we can go ahead, throw our new one in, torque it down, put it all back, and move forth. I feel like these days, because of exotics and rebuilding stuff and doing twin turbo Huracans and Murcielagos and Alex Choi things, yeah, Supras just like, they're not cool anymore, and that's not true, Cal.
It's not true.
We need to make Supras cool. You need to make JDM like this isn't cool anymore. It makes me so upset. JDM's the best. I'm here to prove that again. Yeah. I'm here to make JDM great again. That rhymes really well too. These are one of the new tank tops that will be coming out in a couple, probably like a month or so. This is one of our new logos that we're doing. A little nipple shot. It's called Sunset and Race Cars. And it's an, that was a bad place to put my camera. It's a Stonewash t-shirt, so it's actually, it's not faded green, but it's hard, I guess it's kind of hard to figure it out if you're not in person, but.
Oh, Sunset and Race Cars.
This is like one of my favorite logos and favorite designs that we have coming up, but you'll start seeing little sneak peeks and stuff of some new drops and stuff that we have coming up, so keep your eyes tuned for that. And as I'm giving the shameless self-plug, Calvin is throwing in the new oil pressure sensor.
Just a shameless self-plug. Like this one, I stream on Twitch. Boy. Come and watch me, baby. I play games and sometimes car stuff. Maybe this weekend. We'll see.
Links down below. Follow Calvin on Twitch, boys.
Got him. Every time someone comes into chat and is like, oh, TJ sent me here, I'm like, little praise in the chat. We got a little command. Praise TJ.
Yeah, I got emotes for me.
Poggers for TJ's face. It doesn't go in the hole. That's a problem. It doesn't fit, bitch. Breaking news alert. We ran into a wall, as we usually always do. Long story short is our fuel pressure sensor that we were gonna be running isn't the right thread to go into the block, and then we tried to modify threads with doing a dye on it. Long story short, we didn't end up butchering it. I like that word. It didn't seat as well as we wanted to, and that Oil pressure.
Oh, I said fuel pressure. Sorry, oil pressure, right? Hey, we're all about saying the wrong things here. So long story short is we're not 100% confident that it's gonna seat all the way, and I'd rather not have the build finish, go to turn on the car and have it start leaking and redo it all. So that was supposed to go in right there. I just overnighted a remote kit that apparently it's a pretty common thing. A lot of people, it's really difficult to get the oil pressure sensor to go in. So here, there's just a lack of room. So I just ordered a remote kit that will actually put it over here. So the fitting will sit right here and we'll plug that in. Unfortunately, but I don't want to do all this manifold stuff and then block it and undo it all. So Calvin and I are just gonna move on to the hot side, which is installing the manifold, installing our new oil return lines and all that type of stuff.
Hopefully it comes out easy.
So you can see right here at the bottom, that's where we're gonna be putting it in. Super easy, we're just gonna throw this over the studs, put on the nuts, and it has a 45-degree angle too, so it should be super easy when we do the AN line. Breaking news alert, we ran into another issue.
More L's, Teach, more L's.
We've recently did something, not recent, but in the last year that it was L after L. Was it the RX-7? I don't know what it was, but the oil drain return fitting was incorrect on the turbo because the kit that we ordered was for a different turbo and we were using a Garrett turbo and it just didn't work, so we had to order more parts. So I have two different orders from today that are both overnighted, but it's already 4 p.m. which means the overnighted won't be overnighted tonight. It will be overnighted tomorrow night, which really means 2 days. So it's really just a really poor situation, but we're trying to move forth as best we can and get as much done as we can with the worst outcome we could have had today. That being said, turbo manifold is getting
it's getting on there, Teach.
It's getting on there, although you guys have already seen it on there, so that's no news. So this is probably a very anticlimactic
what are you talking
video
about?
because
this is brand new. We didn't do this.
They've seen it though.
No, because even if we did, that was like 7 years ago. Okay, Teach?
Cal,
This is good.
this is shit. Everyone just disliked this video.
Yeah, can this video get 1 million dislikes?
No, I'm joking. Let's actually, you know what? No, how about just to do what the opposite of what Calvin said. Just get 1 million.
Million dislikes. Equal likes to dislikes.
I don't know. Everyone should just hit the thumbs up
Subscribe
bar.
and dislike.
You're a punk. Just doing up our oil feed line. Feed me. Oh, shit, Calv, you were right. Ow! It's a 15.
Oh, whoa! I can see a nipple, Teach. This tank top is great. It shows a lot of nip. TJ is trying to tell me that I gave him the wrong tool, and look what he's using.
It is the wrong tool. I can't fit it.
It's because you don't have two hands. Give me this camera.
Ow, you hit me in the
I just
face.
punched you in the face. I'm sorry.
It's the worst video ever. It's the worst vlog we ever made.
Stop, T.
This is.
You can't say that, okay? Just put a grayscale over the whole video. Bro, if you... Oh, I hit the camera and now it's autofocus.
I'm gonna strip it.
Oh, okay, that's good.
No, I like it tight.
Oh my gosh. Don't make that face after saying that. Disgusting.
It's probably good. Pre-made line, that's way too long, baby.
All praise to Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's a 15, pal.
Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
And I need an open end wrench.
I'll get it for you.
Because you got me some specialty bunk tool. Are you filming this, Cal? You getting it?
I'm getting it. I'm getting you. I'm getting you right in there.
Well, you should have got me the stubby one because...
You!
Oh, I got it.
You! I'm tired of your shit. And your Christian channel right there, Teach. You can't be having that. Teach! Make yourself decent, please. Oh, do you go to the gym, Teach?
Wow.
Wow, Teach.
Alright, so we're kind of at a stopping point as of right now. Let's go over what we did today. With the harness, it doesn't look like much change, but we actually figured out about 80% of where all the plugs needed to go. We swapped over a couple sensors. We overnighted a relocation kit for our oil pressure sensor. Before those coil packs go in, these spark plugs need to get gapped, so I reached out to my tuner to ask what the gapping needed to be on the spark plugs, so we have a hold on that. The oil return line came with a completely wrong fitting for the bottom of the turbo, so we had to order a new one. Again, that was overnighted, but when all said and done, our block fitting is complete, so that goes from here and goes underneath the turbo. We installed our oil line for the turbo, which goes from the block. Again, this line's really long. I'm probably gonna reroute this so it's not as bad, but that will simply go from here, and imagine it something like, probably be something like this. that will sit on a 90-degree angle. We already have our downpipe and all that stuff that's already pre-made. Underneath here is where our wastegate goes. So we'll have our wastegate right here. Then we have a dump tube that just shoots straight to the ground. You'll notice that we don't have an intercooler set up. That's all gonna get fabbed up by Rad Industries. So we will be getting that done. Once we have that relocation in for the sensor, and we have in our new adapter fitting for our oil drain line, the whole entire harness can be set in. We can put in our coil plugs, and we can move on to the next step, which would be going to Rad Industries, getting our front mount fabbed up. And then at that point, honestly, we're just, it's off to the dyno to set all that stuff up. Seems a lot closer than it really is. It's actually quite a fair distance away. That doesn't really make sense. It's pretty far away. I'm sure we're gonna run into a bunch more issues just like today. That's kind of the name of the game when you're just building it piece by piece. You're not ordering a big kit. You're always gonna run into like roadblocks that's gonna stop you, and you're gonna have to overnight parts, and overnighting parts really means a couple days, not really overnight technically. I'm happy with our progress. I know you guys have been waiting on this big time, so I'm stoked to finally be working on it again. I'm tired. Taking the 458 because it's a 458. I really want to start the headers on this car too. Those got sent out like a month ago, but we've been so behind on a lot of the builds that I literally haven't had any rack space. So the Mustang can't move, so we can't take that off the rack. And obviously the Supra can't move, so we haven't been able to take that off the rack. And this car 100% needs a rack if we're gonna do the headers. Whenever I'm driving home, I always see this guy. It's an FRS or a GT86, it's white and it has a wide body on it, but he hasn't ever painted it. He's literally like Calvin. He's had it for probably like a year now and he still hasn't painted it. Oh, he's coming to say what's up.
Love the videos. He's obviously a subscriber, so if you are watching this video, leave a comment down below. You gotta paint it, man. Don't be a Calvin. Do your best not to be a Calvin. Looks good though. I'm looking forward to seeing it on the road when it's done.
Kona, you're always walking down with me like I'm gonna let you out. Do you really have to go poop, huh, bud? Kevin just got here. Yeah, boy. Are you my watchdog?
You want me to do an emergency house call or what?
Yeah, Kevin's actually doing us a big solid today. You were at the wedding rehearsal, right?
Still happening.
Still happening? You dipped early? It's just a rehearsal. Me and Kevin made a video like last weekend from Microsoft that you guys will see probably in like a week or so, but they wanted the video by this Saturday, and we were like, cool, we'll get that done. I was gonna have Kevin edit it for me just because I do not have the time to do it because we're like really slammed right now. They emailed us today and they're like, oh, we actually need it by tomorrow, and there's like no ifs, ands, or buts. We need it done. And I was like, I can't handle it tonight. So Kev is doing big moves. He's helping us. Wait, are you helping me edit, or are you just dumping footage? He's already edited most of it. Damn, I was like, wait, for a second I was like, oh fuck. Did I just assume you were gonna come here to finish it with me, or I digress. I'm gonna end it here. One comment that I want to answer that I'm seeing on the video that I posted yesterday about the Mustang. All the guys are saying that a 285 in the back isn't nearly enough, that I should go way more, and that some of you guys are saying, well, I'm running like only a 500 horsepower and I have bigger than that. You could always go bigger, like absolutely. The H3s that we had were 20s, and keep in mind too that the 20-inch diameter, when you go that big, a lot of times widths get more limited because it's a less common spec. And keep in mind that I wanted to do an R888. Sure, you could have maybe done like a Pirelli P0, you could have done like a Super Sport, and there's a lot more sizes in that 20, but to keep it true to the speedometer and keep it like within the percentage, a 285 35/20 was the best option that we had. And also keep in mind that it is an R888, so that is like the stickiest tire that you can get without going to a slick. That's also gonna help. But you could always go bigger, and I think no matter what tire we throw in there, we are gonna spin 800 wheel horsepower. Anyways, I digress. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I will see you tomorrow.